All right, guys, we are back with another episode of Car Chronicles, and today we're going to talk about a different kind of car.
A different type of car collecting.
Exactly. Frank, by the way, my good friend Frank is joining me today, and Frank owns a. Tell us about your car, Frank. What we go to the car shows with.
Well, a 2015 Dodge Challenger. I've had it since new, and I would say it's a show car in its own right. It's not a fast car, but you know, it's a pretty quick car. But more than that, it's a showy car. It's a little bit different than most Dodge Challengers you see on the road. In fact, most young folks mistake it for some sort of Hellcat or really go fast looking Challenger, but it's just a 5.7 liter. It's a really good looking car, and that's the one I typically use in the hotter months of the car show season. But on the classic side of things, I've got a 1969 Eldorado, which it's the creme de la creme. It was the upper echelon Cadillac of the 1960s era, and in fact, I met Moony at a car show because he has a beautiful 1960s series Cadillac DeVille, and beautiful car. And we got chatting, and we became good friends, and we found out that we had a lot of things in common. One of which being, we like cars in every shape, form that they come in, whether it be a really nice looking die-cast car or a radio control car. Today, I guess we're going to talk about just that, right?
Yeah, because although we are at the beginning of our car show season, and by the way, we're very avid car show attenders. We like to show our cars, and more than that, though, we like looking at the other cars. But we're in South Florida, and here it is. What's today's date?
We're October 18th.
Unfortunately, today it is hot.
Yes. We'll start our days off this time of the year in the 60s, and then if you don't get out in the morning or don't get out in the evening, you're not going to enjoy any kind of car stuff because it's too damn hot.
It's too damn hot.
We were planning on going to run some RC cars today, but unfortunately,
it's too damn hot.
It's too damn hot. So Mooney said, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's do a Car Chronicles video." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it, man. We're here. We got the cars, all the batteries are charged. We could always run those later. Let's show the fans what they want to see." I know a lot of car guys also collect die-cast cars. They also like different hobbies that kind of are in and around that whole car culture hobby, which would go hand in hand with collecting toy cars.
Automobilia, toy cars. I like the old tin signs, and I have them all over my garage. Frank loves the different scales of the replica cars, and fortunately, he has an enormous collection. And Frank, what did you want to start with first? You want to talk about the RC cars?
Well, we'll start with the RCs because we're here and we're in the living room, and that's where the RC cars are. I don't have many. I just got started in the hobby. A friend of mine actually got me started in the hobby of RC cars couple of months ago. I did a favor for a friend of mine. He was an RC car guy, and he's in the RC car hobby. So he started me off with this little 25th scale car, and it's little. I mean, but it's it's a really, really well built, well designed RC car. It's not like it's a hobby grade car, what they call. It's not something you would get in like Walmart or Target or something like this. It's not a toy. It's a hobby grade car. It goes about 14 miles per hour. Very precise little piece of machinery. And I was so impressed and so taken back by it. I was like, ooh, yeah, this is gonna be bad. I right away started getting online and looking at other options, and I saw some of the other cars he had. He had some 10th scale crawler RC cars. These are meant for doing rock crawls and stuff like that, which I thought the scale was tremendous, and I thought it was really cool to have such a large scale car. So I started looking, and I wasn't too fond of the idea of having a crawler because we live in Southwest Florida. It's flat. There's not really, unless you create your own track, you're not going to really have much or any rocks to crawl on. So I said, you know what? We do have grass. We do have dirt. We do have terrain. So I went with something like this, which you call a truggy. It's not a buggy and it's not a truck. It's called a truggy. And it's got these all-terrain tires, which can be swapped for road tires. really fast. With its highest gearing installed, this thing will do 65 miles per hour like nothing and track like a bullet out of a gun. So when I got this, I was like immediately hooked on RC cars now. So it became a thing of like, all right, well, how fast can we make this thing go? All right, we did 40, we did 41, we did 52, we did 53, we did 65. And I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. But you know what? This thing's scary at 65. The tires balloon up. It can go that fast. Is it really made for that? It's more made for what they call bashing in the RC hobby. And bashing consists of, hey, let's bring it out to a skate park, or let's put a makeshift ramp out in the dirt and grass and jump this thing, see how far we can get it and do backflips and stuff like that. This thing will do wheelies. It will do backflips. I mean, it's got a wheelie bar on the back of it. And I modified and put an adjustable one on, so you can adjust how much you can make this thing stand. But this thing will ride a wheelie all the way down the block. But like I said, real scary because the tires are so big and they're not belted tires. So when you get up there in speed, these things become like twice the size. And it really gets squirrely on the road when the tires balloon up like that.
Give them a really good close-up of that thing,
sure.
man.
Yeah,
A really good close-up.
yeah. I've done a lot of mods to it. I've got a brand new set of tires on it now. This is a clipless body design, which means you don't have any kind of push pins or clips to undo it. You just kind of do this number and the body pulls right off. So on this particular model, I went a little crazy. You know, the hobby also consists of a lot of aftermarket. So much like customizing a real car, you can customize these toy cars. And you know what? You can do it in the comfortability of your own kitchen counter and not have to be worried about being in a sweaty garage or underneath the car, get grease all over you. This car came with plastic control arms, plastic drive shafts, plastic shock towers, and I just did a little upgrading. Got some CNC aluminum parts. There's a huge aftermarket for these cars. You can either go on Amazon or YouTube. There's a lot of guys modding these things, and they leave affiliate links down below, of course, and that gets you addicted to getting mod parts for these. And that's what we've done with this car. And it's fast, it's fun. I've had it out a handful of times, and it's a blast. But, you know, I've got the need for speed, so I was like, all right, well, this thing is fast. What else is out there? What, you know...
What could be faster than this?
What can be faster than that? Well, I've seen guys modify cars. This is a 3-cell battery system, which means it uses a battery that has 3 cells. They have cars that are capable of 6 cells, which either in a single battery or dual battery form. They have guys running 8 cells in the form of either a single huge 8-cell battery or 2 4-cell batteries. So I ended up getting is what's called it's the manufacturer's name is Arma, and the model is called the Felony. I've seen guys upgrade these things and doing 140, 150 miles per hour with. I will never, ever take a model car and do 140 miles per hour. I think it's amazing. I love to watch videos of guys doing this. I think it's amazing. But with my eyesight being, you know, in my mid-50s, I can't put a car a quarter mile down the road and expect that I'm going to see it coming at 80, 90, 100 miles per hour. And I don't even want to either damage myself or people's property or even a human being for that matter. So we did get this car, and it's capable of being upgraded to do something like that. But out of the box, this guy will do 65 miles per hour. That's put batteries in it, charge your batteries, put the batteries in, get your remote control ready, adjust your steering trim, and it's going to shoot like smoke out of a gun. 65 miles per hour. And it does come with an optional pinion gear that'll allow you to get up over 80 miles per hour, which I have not dared to do yet. I've had this out 4 or 5 times tops. It hasn't been out all that much. I've been spending more time doing modifications and upgrades because that's kind of my thing. I love customizing stuff. You know, it's part of the car obsession, I would say, is modifying them. So I've been having a lot of fun putting modifications on this guy, and I've done quite a few mods to it so far. But I've yet had the nerve to put the speed pinion in it, but it will come. I just got to find a good spot. My son actually picked out a spot for us. We're going to go run it today, but got out a little too late. Like I said, we got going a little too late, and you know, come the afternoon time, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 86, 90 degrees and no wind blowing. So we said, well, maybe we'll go later on tonight. And we might shoot some video of that later on. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is the Arma Felony. This is a 6S radio control car. Some of the mods I've done on it is these push button clips at the top. I don't know if you can see or if the camera's in the right angle, but this push button's here, 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 and here. And they did that in lieu of the little cotter pin connections that you could use that they come with from the factory, which to me is a horrible design. They scratched the car up. They've got decals back here. You push the pins in and out a couple of times, the decals all ripped up. So let's drill a couple of holes in this body and put these push clips in. They're really intended for a real car. So the pins themselves, if it's laying on a flat surface, is a lot easier to unclip. But they're push clips and allow you to easily pull the body off of the car.
Ah, okay.
And that allows you to do some really cool stuff and be able to access the thing. And you know, you've got these metal pins go in place of the plastic ones that would ordinarily pop through the body with a little hole in it that you can push the cotter pin through. But as you can see, I've been kind of going crazy with this. A lot of the red anodized aluminum parts in here are aftermarket parts. It did come adorned with aluminum shocks and an aluminum chassis brace, which is that long bar you see going down the middle. But any of the other parts, chassis supports, differential, center differential cover, rear body mounts. I've been going to town getting aluminum parts for this and just going crazy, dressing it up, making it look real nice. I've got 2 3S batteries in here for a total of 6 cells, which is the maximum that you can do in this car. I've got some wiring. I've wired in some lights at the front, down at the fog light location. I've also wired some lights to the body itself. On the back, we've got some tail lights there, which is really useful. More so, you know, it's great to see. It looks really cool, but more so for orientation purposes. When you get the car, you know, far away enough from you, at least if you see the tail lights, you know which direction the car is facing. It really helps to get your bearings. Once you get your car far enough away from you and you're going to do a speed run, it's really nice to be able to look down the block and say, okay, I see fog lights, it's facing me. Or I see tail lights, I need to pull a U-turn. And I put a little 9-volt battery pack in here, so we've got some pretty cool looking lights front and back.
That is nice.
Give you a little look at that. There's your fog lights. And there's your tail lights. So that kind of gives you a nice little orientation in which direction the car is facing.
Very nice. Now, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Frank is not sponsored by any manufacturer. He paid for all of these cars and mods himself.
Yep, I wish I was at that point.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
And then also, ladies and gentlemen, we're not sponsored by any Scotch manufacturers, but we are enjoying what we created today out of necessity was a Scotch and strawberry juice.
Strawberry juice.
I was apprehensive in the beginning, but quite frankly, it's refreshing and delicious, and
definitely
surprised at how good it is.
Yeah.
Now, for this episode, I think what we'll do is we're going to let it cool off a bit, and we're going to show you some footage here on this next scene of both of these cars going down the road.
Yeah, well, maybe before we do that, maybe we should take them upstairs and show them some of the die-cast models that we have.
Let's do some die-cast.
Let's go do some die-cast, because I got a ton of die-cast cars. And in fact, before I got my own real show car, we'll call it, my first real show car would have been my 77 Trans Am that I bought and refurbished over, I don't know, 18, 19 years ago. The car's long gone, but I started my collection really, and my love for collecting cars was rooted in die-cast cars. I got my first die-cast car as a gift. And here we are 60, maybe 50 or 60 cars later. I've got amassed a pretty big collection of 18 scale cars. I've got a few 25th scale cars kicking around the house. And I've also got, I was a big Hot Wheels car kid. You know, like most of guys our age, we all started off collecting.
I don't think there's anybody watching
Hot Wheels and Matchbox
that doesn't have a Hot Wheels or Matchbox. If you don't,
I don't think any car enthusiast started their childhood off without having at least one Hot Wheels car. especially the red line Hot Wheels. Guys our
Yeah.
age remember what the Hot Wheels cars were. The Sweet 16, which was the induction of the Hot Wheels car into the market in the late 60s. I think it was the late 60s. Don't quote me on that, but it was, you know, when we were kids, we had the Hot Wheels cars, and they were like the quickest cars, and they came bundled sometimes with the Hot Wheels, orange Hot Wheels tracks that you can kind of set up in your house, and they would just we'd have fun racing those guys up and down those Hot Wheels tracks.
Yeah.
And those have now become highly collectible. Those little Hot Wheels cars are like stocks and bonds nowadays.
I'm shocked at the collector demand for these cars. And of all, if I could get some of those cars back,
Yeah, it'll cost you a pretty penny nowadays. Certain models of red line Hot Wheels cars are running in the area of $8,000 to $10,000 for particular models,
Yeah.
especially of the original 16 that first came out. They're coined by collectors the Sweet 16, the first original run of Hot Wheels cars with the red line tires and the Go Fast wheels on them. Those guys, original examples, are going for big money. And nowadays, being a collector of Hot Wheels cars, which I am not, I've got a lot of what you would call reproduction ones. I have a few originals. Most of the original cars I have that are original near mint examples of small cars would be Matchbox, because they're a lot less expensive, and you can get a near mint Hot Wheels Matchbox car of the same era for probably like maybe $20 to $30 per car, as opposed to, you know, hundreds or thousands of dollars for a small Hot Wheels car. So I've amassed quite a collection of Matchbox cars, because I had Matchbox cars too. And you know what? I can't afford to really spend $8,600 for, I just can't justify that for one little Hot Wheels or a Matchbox car. I love the nostalgia of it, and I've got enough to fill my nostalgia for collecting that scale of car. But my real focus was originally 18 scale cars. But now, you know, you only have so much space in your house. So once you've run out of that space, you're kind of done collecting. That's where I'm at.
well, let's take a look at some of them.
Yeah, let's bring them upstairs.
A few moments later.
All right, so we're here. There we are. We had to fix the lighting. We're a couple of amateurs at the whole photography thing.
We're learning.
Here's the Hot Wheels stuff. And like I said, these guys are all replicas, but they're beautiful, man. Come on. And why would I pay thousands of dollars when we can get these Red Line Club replicas for maybe $20, $30 a pop? I mean, there's my Eldorado. Beep, beep. And yeah, these are the red lines, man. And the original 16.
Come back so we can get the scale of the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got them in a nice little museum quality case, and some of them are in here, the ones that are unboxed. These guys are original Matchboxes from the early 70s. So we'll go through these a little bit. These are all ones that you probably remember if you're our age. And that's what got me started. I've got the boxes for some of these, and I got them on display with the 18 scale cars. We'll see those in a little while. But these guys here are all in card protectors. So it kind of keeps the cards nice, keeps them from being bent, whatnot. They get them on Amazon, like 100 of them for $10, and you could kind of keep your collection nice. I just kind of took some, what do you call these, thumbtacks, and kind of thumbtacked them to the wall. And the ones I decided to keep in the cards are the ones that, you know, the collectible ones. There's a Red Line Club, and these guys, you know, they get these cars through the club. And a lot of these guys just put them right on eBay and sell them for twice what they paid for them. But they're still only like 30, some $40 a piece. I think they're worth it. They're great little replicas. They're a lot less expensive than the originals, but they still have the old school flair, the old school style cases, or cards, I should say. Some of these guys used to be able to get in Walmart. I got these guys in Walmart. Flying Customs. These are exact replicas of the ones that came out back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Flying Customs. Super Chromes. These are another line of Hot Wheels product that was out back in the day. You could get these at one point in Walmart, Target. And then when I saw them, I went crazy. I'm like, I'm going to grab as many of these as I possibly can, because The packaging is all correct. It's all period correct. They look exactly like they did from the factory, aside from the fact that they got a little Hot Wheels Collectors Club logo down at the bottom, which who cares? You know, they're really
Frank,
cool.
I really like that you have a lot of Pontiac up here.
Well, yep, I started in this hobby back when I had my Trans Am. So my son and I went crazy collecting these little Trans Ams. And at a time there was, I forget who made them. I want to say it's Johnny Lightning. But they came out with a whole series of Pontiacs, and my son and I, we collected them all. In fact, some of these are his because I took them away from him when he was a little kid.
Well, I have an affinity I'm attracted to the Pontiacs, specifically the Firebirds, because I had a 1977 Firebird.
Nice. Well, I had a 77 as well, black one, which started his life brown. But these guys here, 1, 2, and 3 are original. This is an original chrome Hot Wheels. This is from like early 80s era. And so is this guy. And this guy's a replica that came in a track kit that we bought, my son and I, when he was little. But yeah, those are super duper cool. A lot of Pontiacs. I was heavily into Pontiacs. When I had my Trans Am, it was nothing but Pontiac. I was a total Pontiac guy. But then I learned what it was to be a car guy and appreciate other brands. I'm not like, yeah, Mopar, no car, you know, I'm a bow tie guy or I'm a Ford guy. I love them all. I think if you put your love into a car and you do what you can to tastefully customize a car, or do whatever it is that's unique to make the car stand out, I appreciate it. I don't care if it's a Volkswagen Bug or if it's a Fiat or if it's a Mercedes-Benz or whatever. I mean, if it's cool,
it's cool.
It's cool.
Speaking of which, here we are, a couple of car guys, and it's too hot for us to go out to a car show. It's just too hot. I'm not doing it.
Way too hot.
And but it doesn't mean you can't enjoy the art of the car in another form.
Absolutely.
And this episode is dedicated to those of us who can appreciate not just your real car, but an RC car, a die-cast car, model cars. I was a big modeler when I was a kid.
Same.
And it's just, you know, what we do as car guys. And, you know, thank you, Frank, for, you know, letting us come over and look at your collection.
Well, thank you for coming over and enjoying. I honestly, quite honestly, I feel sometimes very alone in the hobby because, you know, I've got friends that think that it's cool, but they're not car guys. And sometimes I feel like people that are not appreciators of collecting stuff, they kind of look at you like, wow, you kind of spent a lot of money on that. And then it kind of almost in a sense makes you feel bad for being a collector because you kind of feel like they get the impression that like, wow, you wasted a lot of money on that stuff. You still collect toy cars. What are you, like 5?
Well, you know, Frank, it's a good thing you're rich.
Well, yeah, I wish. Yeah. Well, let's swing these doors open. You would
All
think,
right.
but let's go ahead and swing one of these mirrored doors open and show these guys
All right.
the bulk of the 18 scale collection.
18 scale collection.
Yeah, 18 scale. Yeah, 18. We got some 25th scale cars mixed in here. But yeah, this is about I would say 35 years worth of collecting.
We need to talk about some of these cars.
If not more. Yeah, if you got any questions about any of them, just let me know. But there's a slew of different cars in here. And we'll start one side at a time because it's kind of hard to take it all in one shot. But this is a replica Mongoose and Snake drag race set that we got this at Kmart before they closed. And my son and I, we set up the track, and the track basically clamps onto a piece of furniture. And as you can see, it's a drag race track. You got 2 bands of orange track, and the gates here where you start off, well, this is actually the finish line. The finish line had little parachutes tucked into the track.
It would hook under the car.
It would hook under the car.
Yeah.
So when you got to the finish line, the car would grab the parachutes out of the little compartments underneath the track, and it was the coolest thing. You had loop-de-loops at the back.
I see that.
And at the top of the track, it had a vice a base with a little vice grip on it that you can attach to a piece of furniture. So you can have that track start up high and come down, so that when you go into your loop-de-loops,
There was gravity.
and then it would come across the parachutes and pull the parachutes
Yeah.
out. So what a cool set. That's a little piece of nostalgia that I will hand down to my son. That's something we played with when he was a little kid. And I kept it nice for him because, you know what? Kids destroy stuff. I know I destroyed a lot of my cars when I was a kid, and wish to God that I had not done what I did with some of my stuff. I mean, I was a pyromaniac when I was a kid, so I thought it was real cool to light Matchbox cars on fire and watch them burn and stuff. So I thought, you know what? Let me spare my son the hassle and money of collecting. So when he gets older, he can have this whole collection and really just this will be part of his little inheritance. You know, this will be something he could remember us by, and remember the times that we spent as a little kid on the floor. I'd come home tired of shit and just get on the floor with him. And he just, Dad, let's play cars. Dad, let's play cars. And as tired as I was like, son, let's get the cars out. Let's play cars.
Yeah, because it's all about fantasy and dreaming and dreaming that the car you could actually have the real version of the car. And I'm looking at this collection. I'm looking at this wall, Frank, and I see a car. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's scan briefly of each row. We've got your GTO. Would I love to have that in real life? Absolutely. Look at these. Look, Pontiac. You come down here, you've got your Corvettes. What year is that?
That's a good question. That's a 64, 65, something.
Split window.
Split window coupe, yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you an interesting story. My father-in-law was supposed to give me that exact car for my wedding gift, but he decided to keep it and sell it. That's okay, because he ended up giving me another Corvette later. But down here, we've got, what is a Super?
Superbird.
And then we're scanning over.
GTX. We've got
There was
Chargers. We got
a movie recently. Who drove that?
Don Toretto from Fast and Furious.
All right, then we come down here to the Mustangs and the Camaros, the pony cars and the muscle cars. I had an aunt that had a Malibu. What is that?
That's a Chevelle.
That's a Chevelle. Okay.
Malibu.
Okay. Now we're coming down here. Frank,
some more Mopars.
There's your car, Frank.
Yep, that's a 1971 Challenger, which basically my car was stylized against.
All right, we're scanning.
Yep.
Beautiful cars.
Olds.
Now we're coming down here to the European stuff.
Yep.
We're coming down to the Lamborghinis.
Lambos.
Okay, we got a couple of Vipers, but let's stop on this car right here.
Yeah, Lamborghini.
You know what that is?
Lamborghini Jota.
I'm going to leave a picture of me with one of these in the up. Look in the corner here.
Yeah.
All right. Come down here. My wife's favorite car.
Yep.
The Celine S7.
Yes, sir.
Look at that Mercedes. What a gorgeous. Oh, if I had that in real life, wow.
And I'll tell you, these are super duper detailed. Some of these cars range in price from $200 to $500. And even the ones that were like $30, $40 back in the day have appreciated in value. I mean, you can't touch a diecast, 18 scale diecast car for less than $100 anymore.
I see you've got a plaque down here, Frank. Can I just show them?
Yeah.
All right.
There's
Look at that.
There's the Caddy.
Whenever Frank and I met, Frank was showing this car.
Yep. It belonged to my godfather, and he had it since 1973. This is a placard that he got at the Alzheimer's Foundation car show back in 2009.
This is a gorgeous award-winning car that is a feast for your eyes at any car show. And when I pulled up the first time I saw this car, I was like, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very beautifully styled car.
Yeah.
That
It was a trophy getter back in its day.
oh, it definitely got a lot.
Not so much nowadays. But
Well, you do pretty good. No, come on.
Yeah.
You do good.
Yeah.
All right, let's open up this other side over
yeah,
here.
let's do that.
Are we on?
All right, so yeah, we're back.
All
We just got to do a little refresher on our cocktails there.
Refresher.
But yeah, we're going to go to the other side of the our little car collection here. And this was a linen closet when we first moved in, but I kind of,
Commandeered
took
it.
it over. Commandeered it. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. All right. Right off the bat, Frank, the Baron, the Red Baron.
Yep.
I was about, I guess I was about 11 years old, and I built the model of that. Remember
Yeah.
the model of
Yeah,
that?
Revell.
Wow.
Revell was the model kit.
Yep.
And these are George Daniels classics. That's what these are. George Daniels was like another George Barris. Is it George Daniels? It's Tom Daniel. My bad. Tom Daniel. I was thinking George Barris, and I'm thinking Tom Daniels. But Tom Daniels was another car customizer from back in the day, and made a lot of popular toys based on his creations, kind of like George Barris. In fact, this guy was a George Barris vehicle. I forget now off the top of my head what the name of that one was. I think it was the Outlaw. But here we have some more Hot Wheels replica cars. These are from the early 90s. I think I got these in 95 or 96. These were a 25th anniversary commemorative set.
You got that nice big...
Yeah, I got the Hot Wheels banner up there.
Like that.
And I get these from various places. I've found some of this stuff in the wild. I actually found this here car hauler in an antique shop in Fort Myers. And yeah, just kind of either internet or locally. I found this set. This set here I found while on vacation in the Appalachians at another vintage flea market. And you were talking about model building earlier. This is a model that I built.
Beautiful.
I built that, actually broke my shoulder, my collarbone, and I was homebound for about a month or so. I'm like, you know what? Got to do something to pass the time. So I built a model car. I hadn't built a model car in ages.
Time well wasted.
So yeah, exactly. These guys here are Matchbox Super Kings. These were a variation of the super fast car lineup that they had back in the day. These are all early 70s originals. And they were called Speed Kings or Super Kings or something to that effect. They were just a larger scale Matchbox car. And I think we kind of glazed over it, but on this side, we can see that we have some of the original boxes for the Matchbox cars. I'll give you a look at what these look like. Got these on display too. These are original boxes that these Matchbox cars used to come in. Hence the name Matchbox. They were, came in little
size of a Matchbox.
Boxes about the size of a Matchbox, exactly. So this shelf here is this is my my Christine collection. I'm an avid fan of the Stephen King movie Christine, and so here's the 58 Plymouth Fury that starred in the movie, and that was Arnie's car, the lead role in the movie. And then we've got his friend Dennis's 68 Charger, and then the Bully's car. I think it's a 68 Camaro, and this was the guy that was picking on Arnie in the movie, because Arnie was kind of a nerd turned cool once he got this haunted car. So anyhow, it didn't end well for the Bullies, let's just put it that way. Watch the movie, it's a great classic. If you haven't seen it, I think most car guys have. It's kind of a cult classic. Here's a few more Mopars. I'm a very avid Charger guy. These guys actually have, they have flip open headlights, so you can kind of display them with the lights open or closed. Kind of a neat little feature. Of course, I'm gonna try to do this one-handed, but that's a 71 Charger. That's the year I was born, 1971. And we got a 69, which is one of my favorites. 69, 68. Here's a 70, another 69. And down a little further, we got some movie cars. We've got the famous George Barris Batmobile from 1966.
Come on, that might be the most iconic car ever.
Yeah, for guys our age at least. And the car it was styled against, George Barris took this little, it was a prototype car called the Futura. And I believe it was a Ford product. Don't quote me on that, but this was the car that they took, that George Barris took and styled into the Batmobile. And you could see the resemblance in the body style and shape, and kind of give you an idea of how far George went to customize the car to make it look like the Batmobile. And these guys are little muscle machines. These were really popular back in the, I would say, the late 90s, early 2000s. There was really exaggerated, cartoony looking cars with the big blowers and hood scoops sticking out of them. And then we've got the popular Dragula car. This was from a TV show called The Munsters back in the early 60s.
It's a coffin, by the way.
Yeah, another George Barris car. I was an avid fan of George Barris and all of his creations. He had some really wild cars you'd imagine up. This car here has got some functionality. It's got some rumble noises. The engine shakes and vibrates. You got engine noises and lights that you can get going with the press of a button. Really cool stuff. Got some Mercuries over here. Some other, I forget what scale these cars are. These belong to my father. These were part of his collection.
What year is that?
I think that's a 57 or 58 Mercury.
Okay. Believe it or not, I have that.
Really?
I actually have that.
A real car?
No, the model.
Oh, the model
just
itself.
like this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're really cool. I always was a big fan of them. I mean, you drop them and channel them, chop the tops, they look really sleek. And some of these cars are part of my uncle's collection. My aunt sent them down for me. So I've got some cars that belong to my dad and some cars that belong to my uncle, my godfather, who was a avid car lover, as well as my dad. And these kind of got handed down to me. And down at the bottom shelf, we've got a Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
Cadillacs, we've got Impalas, we've got all kinds of 50s land yachts, convertibles. And we got a couple of Eldorados. These were gifted to me from a fellow Eldorado collector who's got a 63 Eldorado.
Now tell me about this trophy over here.
This was the first trophy I got with my 77 Trans Am.
That's
first,
nice.
First and only trophy I've ever gotten in a car show. I don't go for the trophies. I go for the camaraderie and I go for the love of cars. So getting a trophy is kind of like an icing on the cake, you know, to make your day, but it's not the main reason why I go to car shows. But it's nice every now and again to get that acknowledgement. And that was a show favorite. It was like a People's Choice Award, which was nice. Just goes to show, you know, people appreciate your car.
Now you've got boxes.
Yeah.
Up here.
That's part of the sickness, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing to do, is keep the box.
Part of the sickness. So, yeah, these are all out of the box, but I do keep the boxes and keep them in mint shape because, you know, if they're ever going to become very valuable, they're always more valuable when you got the original boxes. So this is just a couple of the boxes I have for the stuff I got in this closet. Some of the other stuff is stored away in other places. It's just, you know, having this many cars and then having to store all the boxes for them too can be quite the task. I don't have a box for every single car I own, but some of the more expensive models I went ahead and kept the boxes for.
You got a nice collection, Frank.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
thank you. We've got some other. It's a very, very small bit of cars in another area of the home here, which is the game room. Yeah. I guess I'll show you those.
You want to go in the game room?
Kind of the last ones.
Let's go in the game room.
Yeah, we'll go in the game room, and we'll take a look at what we've got in here. We're not going to focus on the games. That might be another. Another day.
Episode.
But yeah, this is the last little showcase of cars I've got, and some of these are from my late friend Jimmy. He was a big car collector. He actually got a huge collection of cars handed down to him from a dear friend of his that passed away. And then, so these are second generation cars. These belong to a friend of my friend Jimmy's who passed away and left them to him. And then he passed away and then they were left to me. So some of these cars belong to him, like this one here, and I believe this one here were handed down to me. So that's it for my car collection. That's about it there.
Frank, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Guys, if you are enjoying part of the video or any of the video, we would appreciate for you to click the subscribe tab, tick that little bell for notifications, and give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below in the comment section.
Mash the buttons.
Mash those buttons. You know what to do.
Yep.
This was not our typical format of going to a car show and talking about our actual cars, but again, it's just too hot.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd stay in and fortunately for us for me, Frank let us in to see an intimate look of his collection of car stuff.
Inside the mind of
Yeah.
a crazy car collector.
Now what we'll do is we'll show you a little footage of Frank running the RC cars, and some pictures of us enjoying the rest of our evening, because let's see, it's 4:30 now. It's
Sundown's at 7, so
Yeah.
sometime between now and then, we're going to try to get those cars outside.
get a little video, maybe have another beverage.
Yep. Do a
And
couple
then-
speed runs, maybe.
Yeah, go out, get some footage of the cars going up and down the track.
Yep.
So
Sounds
when,
good.
anyway, we'll leave you with that. We'll just put some music behind it. However, I think we need to let them hear the way that what's the one car, the big fast car?
Oh, the Felony.
The Felony sounds like
Sounds like a supercharged car
it's
going
crazy.
down. It sounds like an F1 car going down the road.
I think we need to let them hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
All right, guys, we're going to leave you with a bunch of footage of some RV.
RC.
I'm thinking RV. 'Cause I was in the RV.
We were talking about
business.
RVs earlier,
Yeah.
so.
So RC cars. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by. This is Car Chronicles. I'm Moody. That's Frank behind the camera. Thank you, Frank, for doing
Yep,
that.
no worries.
And
My pleasure.
we'll go get another cocktail, and we'll get those RC cars
On the
ready
road.
for. Exactly. Thanks, guys.
Listen to the snap it makes when I plug these batteries in. When I get the second battery plugged in, listen to this. Some juice going on there. There's your power button. This is also your radio receiver, and then you got your speed controller here, and your wires from the speed controller go onto this big honking motor right here. Here's your 2 battery packs. These are 3 cells each for a total of 6 cells. We're going to switch our lights on so we can see what's going on. And get the body clipped. So this body not only clips in the front and the back, it's got these little nibs here that keep the sides from ballooning out. You'll notice there's holes at the bottom of these ground effects, and those pegs sticking out of the chassis there hold the sides of the body and keep them from ballooning out at high speed. So we'll kind of want to make sure you clip your front end first. And once you got your front end clipped in, I usually lift the body like this, tuck those in, put them in place, and then these are last. And once you got your body on, you should be able to lift it from the body. Did I turn it on? I sure didn't. That was done. All right, so let's turn it on. Pretty big range. Turn it both ways.
What? That's ridiculous. Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Doesn't like this fucking, I tell you, it doesn't like the storm drain at all. Definitely hit bottom on storm.